What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are looking at these two trucks, the HG-P407 and the HG-P417. This is new from HG. This has been out quite a while now, and if you've not already noticed, this is a clone of the Tamiya Bruiser and this is a clone of the Tamiya High-Lift. But we're not here to discuss whether clones are good, bad, or whether we should support them or whether we shouldn't support them. This video is purely looking at the differences between the P407 and the P417. So I'll bring you in closer in a minute and we'll first look at the 407, but before we do that, let's just talk about them a little bit. This came out, I'm sure it was about, I want to say 2 years ago. It might have been less than that, it might be 18 months ago, and it's proved really popular. And the reason it's proved popular is because of the price. This comes in on a good day at around $200. They do creep up to $250, and I've seen them at $300, and that's about where they were when they first come out. But now you can pick them up for around $200. I paid $199 for this, so in the UK that was £157. I actually got this delivered from the European warehouse from Banggood, so it got here less than a week. I've only just got this one. This one was sent to me by Banggood for review, and this comes in at the moment at around $250, so, or a little bit more actually. So between the two, $200, around $250. Now if we look at the equivalent Tamiya, the Tamiya High-Lift at the moment, I'm going to put a screenshot now of how much in the UK a Tamiya High-Lift will cost you, and without looking, and I don't know, but I think it's around the £400 mark, which is $450 plus dollars. That's how much this one will cost you for the real thing. And then if we look at this one, the Bruiser, considering this is around $200 at the moment, this is how much in the UK a Tamiya Bruiser will cost you. So if you take them costs into account, $200 for this is a really good deal. $250 plus for this is an okay deal, but it could be better, and I'm hoping that once these have been out for a few months, the price will start dropping. Not saying it's not worth $250, because I think it probably is, but when you look at the oh, these are really heavy. When you look at the cost of this and its equivalent and this and its equivalent, this is at the moment the better deal. Ow. Right, let's bring you in closer and let's have a look at the 407. You may have noticed a slight change in the audio or the camera quality. I do apologise. My phone that I was recording on decided that it didn't want to record the last 10 minutes of the audio. So we're back to have a look at this one. I'll just remove the body. Body's held on with 3 body clips. I think one of the questions you're all asking is, does the 417 body fit on here? The 417 body certainly will fit on here. You'll just have to remove, there's a little blanking plate there. You'll just have to remove that because that's for this switch. As you can see in there's a gap. And for this body to go onto the 417, you'll need to remove the side skirts and the interior to get over where the motor sits up front on the 417. So let's have a little bit of a closer look at this. So up front you've got your 540 motor, oil shocks. These are quite common for these to leak. I've seen you can do a little mod for these, put some more O-rings in and that sorts that out. You've got a nice 3-speed gearbox in here. Not sure I've already spoken about it, but you've got 2 rear-wheel drive settings, or 2 rear-wheel drive gears, and then a permanent 4-wheel drive. And I think you can get an adapter, or you can make, you can take the gearbox apart and make it so it's permanent 4-wheel drive in all 3 gears, which is, I think, another quite common mod. Then you've got a battery tray there. I've not properly looked in the box. Looks like there's something that hooks over here to keep the battery in. And then at the back here you've got all the electronics which are underneath this, the ESC and your receiver. Underneath you've got a skid plate up front there, and then you've got a metal axle in there, metal gears, metal drive shaft, and then further up the back again you've got another metal drive shaft going into the rear axle. Leaf sprung suspension at the back with some like metal swing arms there, and just the leaf springs at the front with the oil shocks. So I don't know how well you can see it because I don't want to go in too close with my GoPro because it's not very good at obviously close up, but there's actually some corrosion and some rust on here, and there's also a very small amount on the drive shaft. You'll probably find that was caused by, this has probably been sat around for a while, maybe a bit damp, got a little bit damaged, and it's just got a little bit of corrosion. I'm not overly bothered about it because this is going to be run anyway, but if I was the customer receiving this and it had a little bit of corrosion on it or a few marks and stuff, I'd probably be sending an email to complain. How far that'll get you, I do not know. Just pull back the little dust cover name. See, there's a spring on that, and they're oil filled, and they are leaking a little bit already. Like I've said, common problem. Think you can solve it with an O-ring. The other thing I've seen as well, there's actually a Facebook group for these. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But the other thing I've seen is stripping the gearbox down and replacing the bearings with decent ones. It has got full bearings in it, but I've heard they're a little bit weak. So, and the tyres very similar to the Tamiya counterpart, same sort of compound, and they look actually really nice. I think it's a really nice looking truck. Right, let's put the body on that. Let's swap over and get the 417. So the 417, like I mentioned, the bodies will swap. You just need to, on this one, take a little bracket out the back, and if you want to put the 407 on, you need to take the side steps off to fit it onto this chassis. This body's held on slightly different. It's got 7 hex bolts all the way around it, and then the body comes off. We'll take that off in a minute. I've made a few changes to this already. Satin black bumper, because it was the same as the camo, but I think it looks much better. Satin black bumper, side steps, rear roll bar, rear bumper, and I've also permanently fixed the exhaust on, because they kind of hang down with a spring. I don't really like that. It's the same as the original, but they don't look very scale. To what? I lost my Y and my A. Pretty easy to do with them exhausts. You just trim a little bit off and then stuck them onto the chassis. Right, let's get the body off and let's have a little bit of a closer look underneath. So this one's a little bit dirty because I've already had it out for a run. Similar setup up front. You've got leaf sprung suspension with shocks, but these are friction and not oil. These actually, because they're friction, I just think in general it feels a bit looser up front. Not quite as much articulation as the other one, but neither of them are really that good at the old flex. And then you got the same motor up top here on this. This is where you have to remove the interior out of this body because it hits the motor up here. So motor up top, ESC receiver sat on top of here. Underneath there you've got your 3-speed gearbox, permanent 4-wheel drive, battery lives there. This is the bracket for your 4-wheel steer. So there's a separate servo just here that operates your rear wheels for the steering. I'll show you that in operation at the end. And then same up the back, you've got your friction dampers with leaf sprung suspension. Now there's no swing arms on this. That's one of the differences. And I don't know how well you can see, but the exhaust is just stuck on like that. And then if we have a look underneath, big plastic axles on this rather than the small, more scale metal ones, just the same as the original High-Lift. Metal drive shaft. The gearbox has got plastic gears on this. Little skid plate underneath, another metal drive shaft, and a big plastic diff. And that's about it really, not much more to talk about. 2 servos under there, one for your gear selector, one for your front steering. And overall, I don't want to say it's bad, because it's not bad. It's reminiscent of, or it is exactly the same pretty much as the original High-Lift. Only issue this has got, which I've probably mentioned, wheels are way too small. So here's the 417 hooked up to the transmitter, and we are in the medium gear. So you can see permanent 4-wheel drive. Select low. And you've got low gear and then high. So all of it in permanent 4-wheel drive. And also open diffs. You can lock the diffs on this and you can also lock the diffs on that. I'll just show you the 4-wheel steering on this one as well. So currently in normal mode, so front wheel only. This is your normal 4-wheel steer. And then alternate 4-wheel steer. This one's really funny to do this when you're driving along. And then rear wheel steer only. Quirky little feature, and that's done with that mode button there. Right, let's move on to the 407. I'm just going to do the throttle on this again. You listen to that. So now we're on this one and we're in the middle gear, which is rear wheel drive only. Just to note, this has got metal gears, I forgot to say, and that one has got plastic gears. And then high. And then low gear selects 4-wheel drive. I think that, look at all the fingerprints on it, maybe black wasn't the best colour. I think this one sounds so much smoother than that over there, and it might be because of the gearbox, like the metal gears in this. They just, usually metal gears don't sound as good, but this gearbox definitely sounds better. That's it for this video, guys. If you've managed to get this far, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, definitely, I think if you've watched all of this video, you need to subscribe if I'm able to keep you engaged for that long. If you skipped all the way to the end hoping that there was going to be a running video, there's already a running video of that, and there's another one coming up soon, and there'll be a running video of this very soon. This one is getting some very nice new wheels, metal. I've already done the paint work on it. Going to give it a run with better wheels and lock the diffs. This one I'm going to probably lock the diffs straight away before I take this for a run. Now, if you want my opinion on which one's best and which one to get, I will give you my opinion, but there will be some people that this appeals to and there'll be some people that this appeals to, and both. If I was to choose one, I'd choose this one. Like I said, all the way back at the start, you could have got this answer. The equivalent Tamiya for this one is so much more expensive than this one, but this is cheaper. Hopefully the price will come down on this. Thanks for watching. Hope that was useful to some of you that are deciding which one to buy. Some of you are probably going to go and buy both now. Some of you are probably going to give me a thumbs down because these are clones of Tamiyas. I'm reviewing them. I enjoy them. You'll enjoy them as well. Cheers for watching. I'll see you next time.